Welcome and thank you for joining me. I am Paisley and thanks for being here today. Please settle into whatever seat is comfortable for you. I always say this, but you don't have to sit cross-legged. You can even sit on a chair. Just try to draw up through your spine. So no slouching backwards. Close your eyes and join me now being present in this moment. Take a couple of soothing, deep breaths. And give your mind that focus point, just noticing the breath as it rises and falls. Trying not to critique or judge, to cling or change. Just to be with your natural state of being right now. You can leave your hands as is, or if it's meaningful for you, just join them in front of your heart. Welcoming yourself to this practice and welcoming all the parts of your entire being to be here right now. Fill your body with breath. Staying present, watching as the breath goes, and at the end of that exhale, drop your head down toward your heart, but lift your spine up through the chest. Inner smile to yourself. You are welcome here. When you exhale, just drop your hands if they're together and begin to blink your eyes open until it's easy for you to focus. And then we're going to begin standing from here. So find whatever position is comfortable for you to stand in. And what I mean by that is, so classically yoga says, put your feet straight all the way together. And I'm making a funny voice for that. But what would happen? What would go wrong if you just stood with your feet in a natural position today? I want you to find your center, your core, and I don't mean your six pack, but where you feel comfortable in yourself. So we're going to start today with attention on the center of the pelvis. So the dead center from front to back and right to left, that point. And once you've got that in your mind's eye, this core of yourself, begin to shift your weight from side to side. And this is different than like just boogieing on the dance floor. We're not just moving the butt around. What I want you to do is move your whole body. So you're leaning your weight over one leg and from the center of the pelvis, moving over the other leg. So just begin to play with shifting the entire body weight over one side and then the other side. And when that feels like you're kind of familiar with it, start to move forward and backward or circling. And again, not like a hula hooping movement where the head and the feet are fixed and just the middle's moving. The head is going to go with. It's leaning in this really odd looking position where you start to move from your center, from the very core of yourself. Circle the other way and see what that feels like to move your center of gravity around over this point where you're standing. And you're going to start to make that movement smaller and smaller, feeling for where is the centered place where you are aligned so that you can stand well, comfortably, just being you right here, right now. When you've got that, you're going to drop your hands by your sides. Let's spread the fingers and thumbs, and we're going to go with palms forward for this shape. So this is just mountain pose. We've got the feet apart. Usually it's taught with the feet right together, but this is about comforting ourselves right where we are and establishing that center. Find the breath again if you've lost that thread. And then when you breathe in, you're going to sweep the arms up and take them as high as you're comfortable as long as you don't have pain in your shoulders. And on the exhale, you're going to bring the arms right back down where they came from. Let's do that twice more. On the in-breath, from the center of the body, finding stability even as you move, even as you stretch, even as you reach through the arms. And on the exhale, the hands come back down. Last time here. On inhale, opening, reaching, lifting, maybe even looking up. And on exhale, bringing the hands back down. Move the feet apart now, so wide, like maybe 4 to 5 feet. I'm going to just strip off this outer layer. Once you've got your feet wide, pause just for a moment. Feel that stability of having a broad base. You still have the center of your body and your awareness down in the core of the pelvis, but we're going to turn the right foot all the way out towards the right so that it's in line with the long edge of the mat. And we're going to repeat what we did with the arms. We're going to coordinate legs and arms this time though. So when you inhale, the arms sweep overhead. And here's the change. When you exhale, you're going to bend your right leg and take the arms back down. On inhale, straighten the right leg at the same time as the arms go up. So we have a lot of moving parts here. Exhale, bend the knee, take the arms out and down. And what we're learning here is how to stay stable in our middle, stable in ourselves, even while things are shifting and changing. So last time with this movement, notice the core of the pelvis. Try not to let it sag too far forward, even as you straighten the leg and reach the arms overhead. This time when you bend your leg, you're going to stop in warrior two. So arms at shoulder height, right leg bent. There's a tendency for the hips to sag forward, not just the belly to hang out. So draw the hips back, then turn your head and look past the right hand out at the imaginary horizon line. And at the same time, feel the stability of your base, that anchor down into the feet, the rise and fall of breath. On inhale, straighten the front leg, take the arms overhead. You can look forward again. And on exhale, release the hands and turn the right foot forward. In the middle here, before we go to the other side, you're going to take your hands to your hips, but kind of walk them towards the back. So the elbows are going to point back and toward one another. When you inhale, push the hips, the center of your pelvis forward and look up. And on the exhale, you're going to lean the hips back and the chest forward, but don't move the hands. Don't reach for the ground. Just stop like halfway, wherever you can, where your back is straight and long, not round. See if you can't strengthen the power of stability in your legs. A little lift in your belly to hold yourself up. It's kind of like a crazy wide-legged lift here where you're going to pull up with the head and start to stand. And as you come upright, you're going to push your hips back to neutral and head rises right above the pelvis. Find the center. Place it right between the ankles on the floor. Your mind's eye, there's just a plumb line. Then turn the left foot out. Try not to let the hips go too far forward. And then open the arms, palms forward, and exhale. When you inhale, take your arms overhead like you're drawing a snow angel. And on the exhale, bend the front leg, that's the left one, and let the hands come all the way down by the hips. On in-breath, straighten the leg, take the arms overhead. So go through this movement twice more. Feel the center of the pelvis, the center of your being. Can you be in touch with this deeper, more esoteric alignment, even while you're physically moving in and out of different shapes? Now, the next time that you bend the leg, you're going to stop at warrior two. Turn the head. Look out at the expanse of the imaginary horizon line, but stay grounded and present here. On in-breath, arms go overhead, leg straightens. And exhale the hands down. Turn that left foot forward. Make the feet parallel again. We're going to go back to the first side, and just one time now, inhale the arms overhead, and exhale, bend right into the front leg. Then inhale, straighten, take the arms back up. So that was the one pass. Then go to warrior two, a second time on this side, noticing core of body, core of being. Lean to the right, forearm on thigh for side angle pose. Top arm is going to sweep either straight up, or if it's okay with your shoulder, alongside your ear. Try to relax your right hip crease so you feel some weight ground into the right heel. Spread the left toes and just feel the fullness of this expression of just being yourself, really stretching open right here, all of you. And push off the feet and stand back up and drop both hands. Turn the right foot forward. Just pause for a moment. Let yourself center and switch sides. So left foot turns out. And we're going to do that one sort of moving pass. So you inhale the arms overhead. On exhale, you sort of pass through warrior two and the hands come down. And then you inhale, arms go up, leg go straight. Virabhadrasana 2, pausing there. Finding the center physically, finding it esoterically. Then leaning into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose, forearm to thigh. There's a Sanskrit mantra, a saying or phrase, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi. The core of my being is infinite. The core of my being is infinite. So find that, find the core, bring it up with you to stand. Drop the arms, go parallel with the feet, and just begin to heel toe walk the feet toward one another. You can turn to the long edge of your mat and just stand well. Again, Tadasana, it's mountain pose. What is a mountain but stable? I mean, we know that the earth, the plates are moving, but be stable like a mountain, a big, stable base, rooted, anchored with solid rock in the ground. The peak like the crown of the head rising. The breath like the breeze on the flanks of the mountains, just a soft flow. And just as before, center of the pelvis over the center between the ankles, the arms rolled forward, palms open. And on inhale, sweep the arms overhead. When you exhale, bend your knees and then ragdoll, drape your spine down over the legs until you can touch the ground. If it's hard to touch the ground, just brace on your knees with your hands or forearms. And then when you inhale, come into what we call halfway lift. So a long spine. Maybe the hands are down, maybe they're not. And then exhale and fold in, going in the direction of straight legs if that's possible for you. Then walk yourself into downward facing dog. If that's too much for you right now, just put your knees down and do dog pose with your knees on the ground. Aham Brahmasmi. The core of my being is infinite. Please place your knees down if they're not down and come into child's pose, just resting the hips back near the heels and the head down on the mat or the hands or the block. When you're ready to sit up, you're going to swing your feet forward so that you can lie down on your back. Once you're on your back, you're going to stretch out the left leg so that it's straight on the ground. And then you're going to bring the right knee up to your hands. If it's hard to reach your knee, you can hold the back of your leg. You can loop a belt over the back of your leg. Even like a kitchen hand towel would work here to reach the leg. Keep length in the left leg. Flex that foot, straighten the leg. And then aim the right knee just a hair to the right, like you're lining it up with your shoulder more than your chest. And then start to bring the knee in just a little bit closer. Please twist now and take the bent leg across your body over to the right. So you're going to turn all the way onto the left side to do that. Relax the right shoulder back. The core of my being is infinite. All aspects of the being are welcome here. All aspects of your being are worthy and valued. Start rolling out of the twist. Once you're straightened out on your mat, please stretch your right leg straight out on the ground and draw the left knee in, holding it with your hands or a prop or kitchen towel. Aim it just a hair to the left, tiny bit wider than the chest, and draw it in. And soften your back, soften any sense of gripping or clenching. No need to protect or shield yourself right now. Just let yourself be just as you are. Start twisting when you're ready. So knee goes across to the right and left shoulder rolls back. Find your way back onto your back, and before we go to Shavasana, it's a good idea to do something symmetrical. So I'm going to suggest either drawing knees in and holding both knees, or bridge pose, lifting the hips up off the ground with both feet flat. So you pick. And take 2 or 3 breaths while you're there. And then release out of the pose you chose and stretch your legs out on the ground. Just roll the shoulders open. So this is like a reclining version of Tadasana in a way. Shavasana's importance is in that it allows you to assimilate what you've done. So try not to skip Shavasana, even if it's a 30-second or 1-minute relaxation pose. And if you tend to fall asleep when you get here, maybe just repeat that mantra to yourself, or you can say it in English or in Sanskrit, Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. I am one with the abundance of the infinite universe. Aham Brahmasmi. I am worthy of this abundance. I am one with this infinite nature. Aham Brahmasmi. Again, to find your breath again, to just gradually begin to deepen your breathing without force or strain. And start to stretch your fingers and toes, or to reawaken slowly in your own way. And then when you're ready, bend a knee or two and roll over to your right. You can cradle your head with your arm. Just pause in something like the fetal position. That way it's a soft and gentle transition, not leaving any part of yourself behind as you start to sit up, just pushing with your hands, maybe stretching that top leg long. And once you get upright, take whatever seat is comfortable for you again. An upright spine, eyes are either soft or closed. And just a moment to feel, what does it feel like to be centered and aligned with your deeper self while your brain is upright, where it's usually out engaging in the world in its thinking capacity. We need this ability to think, but we want this thinking to come centered from the place of heart and core connection. So just sit for one more moment and feel that centered presence. And then either leave hands as is or join them at your heart once more, and we'll finish this practice with one breath together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. From my heart to yours, namaste.